My name is Tom Bowen. My relationship with Bart, he was a student of the radio class last semester, and as a tech assistant, helped him with his shows, and he hung out in the lab a lot.
My name is Matthew Datesman. My relationship with Bartholomew Burson, the third of Hightower, is we are close personal friends. Some may even say lovers. No, that part's made up.
Hi, my name is Sherry Dion, and I am a friend of Bart's because he feeds me when I go over to his house, and I like that.
Hello, my name is Kevin Holmes. My relationship to Bart is that I am one of his good friends.
My first impression of Bart, or encounter, everybody does their introductions in radio, including myself, and to be honest with you, I can't really recall what he said. My first impression, I don't know, he's got a decent goatee.
My first encounter with Bart, we were playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and for the uninitiated, that entails rolling funny shaped dice and talking in depth about why we haven't lost virginity to the age of 17.
My first encounter with him, I think it was on the after-school bus in middle school. And because it was on the after-school bus, he was tired and he was grumpy, and he usually had his iPods in his ears, or his headphones in his ears because it was attached to the iPod. He was really quiet, but then when you talk, he has this really awesome voice. And for the first 3 months of knowing him, that's all he ever said. "You have such an awesome voice. Did you go into radio?" And that still makes up the bulk of our conversation, so that's cool.
My first encounter was probably with my brother before I was in elementary school. And my first impression of Bart was that he looked very fuzzy.
5 adjectives about the subject. I hate this question, but I'll give it a shot. He is funny, sarcastic, eccentric, enthusiastic. I think that's 4, right? One more. I have no idea. Bombastic. There you go. That is very true.
If 5 words could sum up Bart, the first one would probably be cuddly. Yes, cuddly. There's just a lot of him to do so with. Furry. The man, if you haven't seen him, funny. The man's got a good sense of humor. That's 3. Robust and creative, because he's an artist.
5 adjectives that I would use to describe Bart. I would say artistic. I would say he can be kind of moody. I would say he's very neat and finicky. He is very boisterous, and he's very theatrical.
The 5 adjectives I would give to Bart would be that he is passionate, dedicated, very driven, a little anal at times, and I would say very intriguing.
His greatest strength. Well, given the only context I really know him is this radio show, and I would definitely say his greatest strength is his enthusiasm. He just kind of throws everything into the projects that he's doing. That's definitely the best thing about them.
His greatest strength is his art. Actually, with that, he has a great eye for detail. He doesn't really miss much, which is great.
His greatest strength, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. He has a very, very set sense of duty, but at the same time, he's a procrastinator. So that kind of makes it so he doesn't do things, but then he feels really bad about it. And I feel like if he could work out the other part, that'd probably be his greatest strength, because he would always get all his stuff done. It'd be awesome.
I'd say his greatest strength is definitely one of the adjectives I used to describe him. It's just that he is very dedicated and driven.
What are they most passionate about? Again, the only thing I've seen him be super passionate about is radio, and he definitely seems to get into it.
And he's passionate about that art. He's a Bartist, as I call him. He's not an artist, because there are a lot of artists whose art looks like other people's, but there is no artist who quite looks like Bart. Therefore, he makes Bart, and therefore is a Bartist.
He is passionate about his art. He likes to draw anime style, and he also sculpts, and his sculptures are pretty cool. He has got them all around his room.
He's very passionate about doing a very good job. I would say anything he puts his mind to, he's very good at.
Their dislikes. He dislikes everything. Everything aside from recording radio shows, as far as I am aware.
Bart, though, is a creature of habit. And if he is not in his schedule, he kind of gets a little bit grumpy, a little bit crabby, moody. He's also a very neat individual. Like he's if messiness just really pisses him off. We have a mutual friend who is kind of slovenly, and it's like watching The Odd Couple but live. It's great. With Bart, of course, being Felix.
His dislikes, he dislikes messes. If you make a mess, he'll clean it up, which is kind of nice. That's why I like having him around, because I like to make messes. And he doesn't like not getting enough sleep. He really doesn't like getting enough sleep. I drive him to school in the morning. I don't like it when he doesn't get sleep either, because he's a crab ass.
His dislikes, I would say, are well, for one thing, when people leave a mess around his house, or just some general pet peeves, such as when people don't answer right away. He likes to make sure things are done well and efficiently.
Quirky personality traits. He does this old-timey radio announcer voice in the booth. It kind of catches us all off guard. Like, we'll be sitting up there in the studio, and then we just hear, like, the 23 skidoo from downstairs. It's pretty funny. I definitely describe it as quirky, though.
Bart doesn't have one quirky trait. The man is just quirk personified, honestly. But I guess if I had to pick a favorite, he's kind of like, how do I say this, an old sea captain sometimes, where he'll bark orders and shout and in a voice different from his own, and it's so funny.
His quirky personality traits, he's got a lot. My personal favorite, I've got two. One of them is, like, he's grossly inappropriate, but somehow it's completely appropriate for the situation, but only if you're looking at it in hindsight. And he also does this thing sometimes where he slips into a Scottish accent. We call it the lizard man voice, but that's a different story. And you don't have to worry about that, but it's a lizard man voice. It sounds like Sean Connery, and it's pretty cool.
I would say, well, yeah, Bart definitely has an interest in the sticks and trying to learn martial arts with said sticks.
Where do you see them in 5 years? I don't know, like all of our students, I assume they're going to graduate and go on to a career in doing something they love. Maybe radio, maybe something else, who knows?
Now, in 5 years, Bart will most likely be doing something on the internet with his Bart art. Probably animation of some sort, making fun of stuff, having a good go of it, and I wish him the best.
Where do I see him in the next 5 years? He's probably going to be swimming in student debt like me, because we're going to take out loans and go to college after community college. But hopefully he'll have a job and it'll work out. It's going to be awesome.
I see Bart in 5 years doing whatever he's interested in, and hopefully with a very good job.